Most men over 60 have no idea that one of the biggest threats to their heart health isn't cholesterol. It isn't blood pressure. It isn't even stress. It's something happening silently inside their blood vessels right now. Something invisible. Something most doctors never even mention during a routine checkup. Your blood vessels are slowly losing their ability to relax. And when that happens, when those vessels stay tight, constricted, unable to open the way they should, your heart has to work twice as hard just to push blood through your body. Your energy drops, your brain gets foggy, your legs feel heavy, and everything downstream, every organ, every tissue, every cell, starts getting less of what it needs to function. Most men blame age for all of this. And here's the scary part. They're only half right. Yes, aging changes things. But the science is very clear on this. A huge portion of what men experience after 60, the fatigue, the sluggishness, the I just don't feel like myself anymore, isn't age. It's a chemical deficiency, a specific molecule your body used to produce in abundance and now barely makes at all. And today, you're going to find out what that molecule is, why it matters more than almost anything else for men over 60, and, most importantly, which 6 tiny seeds can help your body start making it again. These seeds are not exotic. They're not expensive. Most of them are sitting in a grocery store 5 minutes from your house right now, but nobody's connecting the dots for you. Nobody's explaining exactly how each one works, what it targets, and why combining them creates a level of vascular protection that no single supplement can match. That's what this video is about. I am Dr. Natalie Parker, and if you want to keep receiving important content about health after 60, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Now let's get right back into this, because what I'm about to share changes the way most men think about their circulation, their energy, and their long-term health. That molecule I mentioned, the one your body struggles to produce as you age, is called nitric oxide. And before you tune out because it sounds technical, stay with me. Because once you understand what nitric oxide actually does, you'll never look at your health the same way again. Nitric oxide is a gas. Your body produces it naturally, and its primary job is simple. It tells your blood vessels to relax and open. That's it. That's the whole function. But that function affects everything. When your nitric oxide levels are healthy, your blood flows freely. Oxygen reaches your muscles, your brain, your organs without resistance. Your heart doesn't strain. Your energy is stable. You feel awake, sharp, capable. When your nitric oxide levels drop, which is exactly what happens to most men starting in their 40s and accelerating through their 60s, the opposite occurs. Vessels stay tight, blood flow gets restricted, tissues start receiving less oxygen, and your body slowly starts feeling like a machine running on low fuel. Here's what most men don't realize. This isn't just about cardiovascular risk in some abstract future sense. This is about how you feel today, right now, this week, the fatigue, the mental fog, the reduced stamina, the mornings where you wake up and already feel tired. These aren't mysteries. For a huge portion of men, they trace directly back to compromised nitric oxide production and reduced blood vessel flexibility. And the good news, and I want you to really hear this, is that your body doesn't stop being capable of producing nitric oxide just because you're older. It just needs the right raw materials to do it. That's exactly where these seeds come in. Let's start with the most important one, the one with the most clinical evidence behind it. The one I'd put at the top of every man's grocery list if he's serious about his cardiovascular health. Flaxseed. Ground flaxseed specifically. And here's why it's in a category of its own. Most people know flaxseed as a fiber source. Maybe they've seen it at the health food store or sprinkled on yogurt somewhere. But what they don't know is that flaxseed contains something called alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid, in higher concentrations than almost any other food on Earth. Why does that matter? Because alpha-linolenic acid is a direct anti-inflammatory agent for the cells that line your blood vessels. Think about those cells for a second. The endothelial cells. The ones coating the inside of every artery, every vein, every capillary in your body. They have one job that matters most: producing nitric oxide. That's where it comes from. That's the factory. When those cells are inflamed, which in most men over 60 they are, due to decades of diet, stress, environmental exposure, and normal aging, the factory slows down, nitric oxide output drops, vessel flexibility decreases, blood pressure creeps up, flaxseed goes in and calms that inflammation down, directly, at the source. But here's where flaxseed gets really interesting. It also contains something called lignans, a type of plant nutrient found in very few foods and in no food more abundantly than flaxseed. When lignans reach your gut bacteria convert them into compounds called enterolignans, and those compounds are powerful antioxidants that do something critically important. They protect the nitric oxide your body is already making. See, here's something most people don't know. Your body can produce nitric oxide perfectly well, and free radicals can destroy it before it even reaches your blood vessels. It gets neutralized, wasted, before it ever does its job. The antioxidants from flaxseed lignans essentially form a protective shield around nitric oxide, keeping it intact so it can actually signal your vessels to open. And then there's the clinical evidence, which is where flaxseed separates itself from most nutritional interventions. A landmark study published in the journal Hypertension, one of the most respected cardiovascular research publications in the world, found that daily consumption of ground flaxseed produced some of the largest reductions in blood pressure ever documented from a dietary change alone. Not a drug, a food, ground flaxseed, every day. Now here's the practical part, and this is important, so pay attention. You cannot eat whole flax seeds and get these benefits. Whole flax seeds pass through your digestive tract completely undigested. The nutrients stay locked inside the hard shell. You need ground flaxseed, also called milled flaxseed, for your body to absorb anything. 1 to 2 tablespoons a day is the target. Store it in the refrigerator in a sealed container because the oils in flaxseed oxidize quickly at room temperature. Add it to oatmeal, yogurt, a smoothie, or just stir it into water. The taste is mild. The impact is not. This is your foundation. Everything else builds on top of it. Now let's talk about a seed that most men eat as a snack without having any idea what they're actually consuming. Pumpkin seeds. And specifically, what makes pumpkin seeds so valuable for blood vessel health isn't any single compound, it's a mineral. One of the most important and most commonly deficient minerals in men over 60. Magnesium. A quarter cup of pumpkin seeds delivers close to half your daily magnesium requirement. That's remarkable. And magnesium's role in vascular health is more significant than most people, including most doctors, fully appreciate. Here's the mechanism. Your blood vessel walls contain smooth muscle cells. These are the cells that control whether your vessels constrict or relax. And magnesium acts as a natural regulator of those cells, essentially telling them to release tension, loosen up, and allow blood to flow more freely. Cardiologists actually call magnesium a natural calcium channel blocker because it operates through the same biological pathway as an entire class of prescription medications designed to relax blood vessels and reduce blood pressure. The same mechanism, naturally. When you're magnesium deficient, and studies show that a large percentage of adults over 60 are, your smooth muscle cells stay in a chronically tightened state. Your vessels can't fully relax. Resistance goes up, your heart pushes harder, blood pressure stays elevated, and magnesium deficiency is sneaky. It doesn't cause dramatic symptoms. It causes a slow, quiet deterioration in vascular function that most men never connect to anything specific. But there's more to pumpkin seeds than magnesium. They're also one of the most concentrated food sources of zinc, and zinc plays a crucial role in something called superoxide dismutase, your body's primary internal antioxidant enzyme. Remember how we talked about free radicals destroying nitric oxide before it can do its job? Superoxide dismutase is the enzyme that neutralizes those free radicals at the source. It's your body's first line of defense, and zinc is essential for that enzyme to function properly. No zinc, no enzyme. No enzyme, nitric oxide gets destroyed. It's a direct chain. So, pumpkin seeds do two things at once. They help your vessels relax through magnesium, and they protect your nitric oxide supply through zinc. That's a powerful combination from one small seed, a handful as a snack, sprinkled on salad, mixed into your seed blend. Simple, practical, and backed by real science. Here's one that's going to surprise you: watermelon seeds. Most people spit them out. Most people never give them a second thought. And most people are throwing away one of the most effective natural precursors to nitric oxide available in any food. Watermelon seeds are rich in an amino acid called citrulline. And citrulline is extraordinary for one specific reason. Your body converts citrulline into arginine. And arginine is the direct building block your body uses to synthesize nitric oxide. Now, you might be thinking, why not just take arginine directly? Supplement with arginine itself? Here's why citrulline is actually more effective. When you consume arginine orally, a significant portion of it gets broken down in your gut and liver before it ever reaches your bloodstream. The absorption is limited and inconsistent. Citrulline bypasses that bottleneck. It's absorbed more efficiently, it travels through a different metabolic pathway, and it results in significantly higher blood arginine levels than taking arginine itself. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition confirmed this. Citrulline supplementation outperformed direct arginine supplementation at raising blood arginine levels and supporting nitric oxide production. So your body gets more fuel for the nitric oxide factory, and it gets it more reliably. Roasted watermelon seeds are easy to find. You can also grind them and add them to your daily seed blend. They're mild in flavor, dense in nutrition, and one of the most underestimated foods in the entire cardiovascular health space. Most men over 60 will never know this. Now you do. Let's keep going, because the next seed operates through a completely different mechanism, and that's exactly why it matters. Sesame seeds. Sesame seeds contain a compound called sesamin, and sesamin is unusual in the world of nutrition because it doesn't act as an antioxidant directly. Instead, it amplifies your body's own internal antioxidant systems. Most antioxidants work like a bucket brigade. They show up, neutralize a free radical, and they're done. Consumed, gone. Sesamin works differently. It actually upregulates, meaning it increases the activity of the enzymes your body already uses to neutralize oxidative stress. So instead of adding one more antioxidant to the mix, you're essentially upgrading the entire antioxidant system your body is already running. The result is better protection for your blood vessel walls, less oxidative damage to the endothelial cells where nitric oxide is produced, and reduced oxidation of LDL cholesterol, which matters because oxidized LDL is the form most damaging to vascular integrity. It's the type that sticks to vessel walls and contributes to buildup over time. But sesamin has one more benefit that makes it particularly synergistic with the next seed on this list. It inhibits the enzymes that break down vitamin E in your body, meaning that when you eat sesame seeds, the vitamin E you get from food or supplements lasts longer. Its protective effects on your vessel walls are extended. You get more mileage out of the same amount. And that brings us directly to the next seed, because no food delivers vitamin E like this one. Sunflower seeds. One serving of sunflower seeds provides over 80% of your daily requirement for vitamin E. That's not a small thing. That's extraordinary. Vitamin E is a fat-soluble antioxidant, which means it integrates directly into the membranes of your cells. And for endothelial cells, the cells that line your blood vessels and regulate their tone, membrane integrity is everything. When those cell membranes are well protected, the cells function properly. They respond to signals. They produce nitric oxide efficiently. They help regulate blood flow. When those membranes are damaged by oxidative stress, which happens continuously in men over 60 who aren't getting adequate antioxidant protection, the cells become less functional. Nitric oxide production drops. Vessel response slows. Blood pressure can rise. Vitamin E from sunflower seeds provides direct protection at the cellular membrane level. And when you combine sunflower seeds with sesame seeds, as we're building toward with this blend, the sesamin in sesame extends the life of that vitamin E, amplifying its protective effects in a way that neither seed achieves alone. This is what synergy actually means in nutrition. Not just eating two good things, but eating two things whose compounds actively enhance each other's function. That kind of combination doesn't happen by accident. And it's exactly why the blend we're building here is more powerful than any individual seed consumed on its own. Before I get to the sixth and final seed, which targets a specific mechanism most men over 60 are completely unaware of, I want to pause for a second. Because if you're finding this information useful and you want to go deeper, I put together a complete resource for men in this exact situation. It's called The Medical Guide to Avoid the Mistakes That Damage the Prostate After 60, and it's available in the pinned comment below the video. It covers the most common mistakes men make that silently accelerate vascular aging, prostate problems, and hormonal decline, and it gives you practical, evidence-based steps you can start applying immediately. Check it out in the pinned comment below. Now, the sixth seed, and this one is going to change how you think about stress and your blood vessels. Celery seeds, not celery the vegetable, the seeds specifically, and most people have no idea these even exist as a health tool. Celery seeds contain a compound called 3N-butylphthalide, also known as 3NB, and the mechanism it operates through is unlike any of the seeds we've discussed so far. Here's what most men don't think about. Chronic stress, the low-grade, persistent kind that men over 50 carry around without even recognizing it anymore, doesn't just affect your mood, it directly affects your blood vessels. When your body is under stress, it releases hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, norepinephrine, that trigger vasoconstriction. Your blood vessels tighten. That's a survival response. Short term, it's fine. But when stress is chronic, when those hormonal signals are elevated week after week, month after month, your vessels stay in a state of chronic partial constriction. The smooth muscle cells in your vessel walls can't fully relax because the stress signals never fully turn off. And here's what makes this so dangerous for men over 60. You can eat perfectly, exercise regularly, take the best supplements in the world, and if chronic stress is keeping your vessels constricted, you're fighting uphill. The 3NB in celery seeds directly counteracts those stress-driven vasoconstriction signals. It works at the biochemical level to calm the response that chronic stress hormones trigger in your vessel walls. Clinical studies, including research published in Phytotherapy Research, have demonstrated that celery seed extract measurably improves blood flow and reduces blood pressure. Not by stimulating nitric oxide production, not by adding antioxidants, but by neutralizing the stress-driven constriction that's working against all your other efforts. Think of it as removing the brake. You can have all the right fuel, all the nitric oxide, all the magnesium, all the antioxidant protection, but if the brake is engaged, you're still not going anywhere. Celery seeds help lift that brake, and that's what makes this sixth seed so important for the full picture. Let's step back and look at what we've actually built here. 6 seeds, 6 different mechanisms, 6 different angles of attack on the same underlying problem. Flaxseed reduces inflammation in the endothelial cells that produce nitric oxide and protects nitric oxide from free radical destruction through its lignin antioxidants. Pumpkin seeds provide magnesium to relax vessel-smooth muscle cells and zinc to power the superoxide dismutase enzyme that neutralizes nitric oxide-destroying free radicals. Watermelon seeds supply citrulline, which your body converts to arginine, the direct building block for nitric oxide synthesis, and does it more efficiently than taking arginine directly. Sesame seeds upregulate your internal antioxidant enzyme systems, reduce LDL oxidation, and extend the protective action of vitamin E through sesamin's unique mechanism. Sunflower seeds deliver concentrated vitamin E that integrates directly into endothelial cell membranes and protects their function and integrity. Celery seeds counteract the vasoconstriction triggered by chronic stress hormones, removing a major hidden obstacle that blocks all the other mechanisms from working fully. No single supplement hits all 6 of these pathways. No pill does this, but a daily blend of these seeds, consumed consistently, can shift your body's vascular chemistry across all 6 dimensions simultaneously. And the cumulative effect of that kind of broad, multi-mechanism support compounds over time. Week 1, you probably won't notice much. Week 4, you might notice your energy feeling more stable. Week 8, men often report that they feel sharper, that their legs feel less heavy, that they sleep better, that exercise feels easier. Not because of a miracle, because their blood is flowing better. And when blood flows better, everything works better. Now, here's the practical part, because information without implementation is just trivia. The simplest approach is to make a seed blend and store it in your refrigerator. Start with ground flaxseed as your base. 1 tablespoon minimum, up to 2. Pre-ground is fine, just make sure it's stored properly, refrigerated in a sealed container, away from light, because the oils oxidize quickly. If you grind your own from whole seeds, do it in small batches. Add raw pumpkin seeds. A small handful, about a quarter cup if you're measuring, gives you a meaningful dose of magnesium and zinc without going overboard on calories. Grind watermelon seeds and add them to the mix, or look for them pre-roasted at health food stores or online. A tablespoon is plenty. Sesame seeds can be added as is, raw or lightly toasted. Black sesame seeds have slightly higher antioxidant content, but regular sesame seeds work just as well. A teaspoon to a tablespoon daily. Sunflower seeds, raw or lightly roasted, unsalted, by the small handful. Don't buy the heavily salted snack versions. Plain is what you want. For celery seeds, a small pinch, literally just a pinch, is sufficient. These have a strong, distinct flavor, so you don't need much. You can also find celery seed extract in capsule form if you prefer. Mix the full blend and store it in the refrigerator in a jar. Consume 1 to 2 tablespoons daily. Add it to oatmeal, yogurt, a smoothie, a salad, or just mix it with water and eat it with a spoon. That's it. No complicated protocol, no prescription, no expensive stack of supplements. Just a daily habit, consistent, practical, evidence-backed, that works on your vascular health from 6 distinct biological angles at once. Now here's something I want to address directly because I hear this from men all the time. Dr. Parker, I've been dealing with low energy and poor circulation for years. Is it too late for me to make a real difference? I want to be very clear about this. Your blood vessels are not static. They are living tissue. They respond to signals. They adapt to what you eat, how you move, how you sleep, and what you consistently provide them with. The research is not ambiguous on this point. Studies have shown measurable improvements in blood vessel flexibility and nitric oxide bioavailability in men well into their 70s and 80s who made targeted dietary changes. The body's capacity to adapt doesn't disappear at 60, or 70, or 80. What changes with age is the margin for error. When you're 30, your body compensates, it buffers, it recovers faster. When you're 65 or 70, the same bad habits have a faster, more pronounced impact, and the same good habits have a faster, more pronounced benefit. That's actually an argument for starting now, not for waiting. Every tablespoon of this seed blend you consume is providing raw materials your body will use to do what it's already trying to do. You're not fighting your biology, you're working with it. And consistency matters more than perfection. Missing a day isn't a setback. Going 2 or 3 weeks and then quitting is a setback. Make it a habit. Build it into your morning routine. Attach it to something you already do, your coffee, your breakfast, your first meal of the day. The benefits accumulate slowly and steadily. That's how real biological change works. Let's bring this all the way home. You came into this video asking a question, even if you didn't know it in those exact words. The question was, why do some men remain energetic, clear-headed, and physically capable well into their 70s and 80s, while others seem to fade out much earlier? The answer isn't luck. It isn't genetics in any simple sense. A significant part of the answer is circulation. It's how well blood moves through the body. It's how much oxygen and nutrition every cell and organ is actually receiving every single day. And circulation depends on nitric oxide, on vessel flexibility, on endothelial health, on magnesium levels, on antioxidant protection, on managing the chronic stress that keeps vessels locked in constriction, on providing the amino acids the body needs to keep the whole system running. These 6 seeds, flaxseed, pumpkin seeds, watermelon seeds, sesame seeds, sunflower seeds, and celery seeds, address every one of those factors. Not as a cure, not as a guarantee, but as consistent, science-backed nutritional support for a system that desperately needs support after 60. Your body is still working right now. It hasn't given up. It's doing the best it can with what you're giving it. Give it more. Start this week. And if you haven't already, check the pinned comment below this video. I put together a detailed guide specifically for men over 60 who want to go further. The medical guide to avoid the mistakes that damage the prostate. After 60 covers the full picture of what happens to men's health in this stage of life and exactly what the research says you can do about it. It's in the pinned comment. It's free to access. Go check it out. If this video gave you something useful, if it changed how you're thinking about your circulation, your energy, or what's possible for your health at this age, consider subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications. I put out new videos every week focused on real science and practical strategies for men over 60. No fluff, no fear-mongering, just the information you actually need to take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next one.